Hey folks, Atreus Monk here, playing some more Pillars of Eternity. I almost just said Crusader Kings 2, and I also just noticed that Sagani has enough experience to level up. Which means that we need to put some points in athletics, because she should totally have some. Less fatigue, dwarf woman. Now, let's see, class unlocks. Swift Aim, which is a modal that gives plus attack speed and reload speed minus accuracy. Defensive Bond, which gives plus 15 defense against AoE attacks to her and her companion. Plus 10 accuracy when attacking the same target as animal companion. Predator's Sense, plus 50% damage against targets afflicted by damage over time. Arrow Sense, plus 15 deflection against ranged. Or Vicious Aim, which is a modal that slows down things and increases accuracy and damage in response. I think Stalker's Link will be good for us. Won't always work, but it should work most of the time, I think. Why is the formation bungled up again? Like, that is not the formation, people. No, actually, I guess it maybe kind of is. Except Taravius is supposed to be there, not Sagani. Oh. It might help if we had Eder. That's part of the reason the damn formation looks wonky. Okay. Anything we get going to the north? Nope. From what I've heard and what I've read, I don't think that we'll ever encounter a druid compilation quite like that one that kicked our ass earlier. Okay, well, yes, I know, the deer can see me. Let's get on with it. And hope we don't have to deal with combat right off the bat. I don't think we should going into this village. Odds are pretty good that this is going to be one of those quests where it's like, well, things don't quite seem like they were to start with. Or they do, but there's complications.
I'm so tired I'd pay brothel rates just to nap.
Eder. Oh, come on. Journal. No, not the journal. Quests. No, not Rogue Knight. Not the Long Hunt. Not that one. Nope. Nope. No, okay, it's this task, the Parable of Whale. That's right, we were going to retrieve a stolen scroll. At least that's what we thought the situation was. There's no guarantees here. Cowled Men. And a boar companion. How long do we gotta stand out here? Until we find her, so keep your eyes peeled. Okay, well, we got like a church or something here. Temple of Berith. Let's talk to this guy. You must be wanting Baidmar. He's out of town. I'm just keeping the candles lit until he gets back. Okay. I take it that there's like no other rooms in here. Okay. Alright, so I don't know if we want to avoid getting too close to the cowled people or not. They seem like they might be our thieves, though. Oh, that's just more people that backers created souls for. Hey, golden celery. There was an enchant that we could have made possibly with that. Okay, can't do nothing to the north of here. River reed. More river reed. It makes sense. It's a river. There's gonna be reeds by it. No, 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 no. Medrith. Okay. Well, let's quick save here. An elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods as you approach, and the cowled figure standing near him falls silent. Greetings. A look of horror slowly forms on his face. Blazes, you've just come from the village, have you? How bad was it? Quit babbling and just tell me what this is about. Haven't you heard? There's a murderer on the loose, said to have gone mad with grief and strangled a dozen healthy children when her own was hollow-born. He nods at the figures with him. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her to justice. She's here? She's hiding out in the village. We'd go in after her ourselves, but the problem is she knows our faces, and there's no telling what she'd do if she saw us coming. Her name's Nifre. She's in Orlin. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone were to convince her that it's safe to leave... If she's a mass murderer, why didn't the Duke send the Crucible Knights after her? The powers that be want to keep things quiet for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her into doing something drastic. I could draw her out. She won't know you. It'll be simple. I have a few questions for you, though. Remind me who I'm looking for? Okay, an Orlin woman named Nifre. There aren't too many Orlins here. Hey, we got one. What did she do? Responsible for the murder of all those babies in Defiance Bay.
I'll stay out of sight.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, you got a bunch of people to ambush one woman. A word, traveler. I require only a moment. You've recently come to Deerford, I take it. I don't suppose you saw a young elven noblewoman on the road. I'm stuck in this wretched place with the rest of my unit until we find her. Who is she? Lady Elise. She's the daughter of Lord Nestor Herond, and she's gone missing. Perhaps you could go speak with Lord Herond at the inn. He'll be grateful for the assistance, and it could be the villagers will open up to you more than they have to us. Okay.
I'll take a look.
The grieving mother. Yeah. This is the Deerford Mill. Villagers, okay. But it's stealing, stealing, and more stealing. Huh. No, there are no healthy births anywhere around here. It's all going to hell. All going to hell. I would like to be able to see what's the dude's name. Rumbled. Gallowayne, slobbering beasts, blazing bloody effigy, thrice damned salty wench and her soggy. What's wrong? That monster stole my pigs, traipsed into the village, tore down my pen, and made off with the whole damn herd. Just left a few little runts, and what am I supposed to do with them? What are you talking about? An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk had been seeing glimpses and tracks out into the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from town. Or so we all thought, until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. Did you see the ogre take your pigs? What else would have destroyed my pen and made off with my herd? And at the same time, the rest of the village is seeing a 10-foot monster in the forest. I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but it had set my mind at ease to see that thing's head shorn off from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly pate to me, and I'll trade you for something that's of less use to a farmer like me than to a rowdy-looking sort like yourself. What do you know about the ogre? It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Trigal could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find him in his shop right by the broken tower. Regardless, I'm sure it's nothing a big fellow like yourself couldn't handle. Need something else? Yeah, I've been sent to find her. Never heard of her. Never heard of Nifra. Or Nifra or Nifra. Winfrith's Arms and Armory, the Dracogen Inn, Trigill's Curiery. Yeah, Curiery. Villagers. Who are you? Okay, you're a villager. You're just annoying me by the fact that you're just kind of wandering around here. This is Winfrith's Arms and Armory. Now what I need to do is sell all this crap that I'm never going to use.
Gods keep you.
Haven't seen you before. Always glad to see a new face in town. Company's good for business and chatter's good for the soul. That's what I always say. Anyhow, what can I do for you? What's been going on here? Oh, we're a quiet little town. Not much happens here, especially not since the legacy hit. People realized they couldn't have babies and just stopped trying altogether. And that takes a lot of the excitement out of the day-to-day, if you can believe it. Well, then show me what you have for sale. See, no one else is talking about this person killing people. Makes me think it's not happening. Unique pike, tall grass, increased reach, exceptional, predatory, overbearing. Crits can inflict prone. Wow, seems like a rather nice pike. It's two-handed, but oh, Grudge Keeper. Ritezzi's Thorn. Accurate, fine, valiant. And Crushing Lash. Mosquito. One-handed rapier. Draining of concentration -5. Angio's Gambison. Fine athletic, major spellbind, deleterious alacrity of motion. Allows an ability or spell to be cast while the item is equipped. And the Voice of the Mountaintop. Usable by Chanter. Plus 20% chant area of effect. Huh. Okay. Stiletto has DR reduction on it. Alright, because these are all just like fine weapons. Like, okay, it's base weapon with a minimal little bonus to it. Let's see here. Don't need a bunch of extra daggers. A sword. That's a sword. That's a dagger too. Crossbow, crossbow, yeah. Looks like that's... there's an extra mace. And these are all just fine hide armors. Okay. Don't need that. Yeah, those are padded armors. Got either. Looking for duplicates. Okay, I think that gets most of the duplicates out of the way there. Not sure that buying any of this stuff would be worthwhile here. I'm not sure any of it would be really worthwhile. Zealous Command, so it's a paladin bonus thing. Okay. Oh no, that's a step back. Not interested. Sorry. I mean, it might be cool to read some of those, but we're trying to keep things going here. We've already picked up more quests than we've resolved. The woman looks briefly through you as though she doesn't know you're there. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colorless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long, fibrous stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables into a small, cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not even sure she knows you're there. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no indication she heard you. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman, unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer, she's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from lack of washing, like many of the townsfolk you've seen. There is a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack color in a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch, her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, the hairs become long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads, braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing it. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest, hazy with mist, although whether it is actual mist, or distance, or a recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arch above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention as if looking down on you and the event unfolding before you. The plateau has soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different. Not disembodied, but you feel your body, your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts like mist roiling softly into a sealed chamber, and... focus on the chimes. The chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Adra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion. Weaving, not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Bareth's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head, turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing and inhabiting have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing, crying out. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort, of that you are certain. And coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again. Almost eagerly the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft, wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You are holding a small child, still wet from the womb, before you. The child cries out its cry full of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul, but it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry her hands reach out for it. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords on your wrists. Where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting into the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The experience. The woman laughs with a ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here. The child is safe. And all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. Let's pull out of that. With effort, the scene bleeds of color and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pull, no anchor, yet the sound of the chimes remain. As they existed in the memory, they sound here as well. And they are hanging from woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrists are sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She is wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize that what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad to at last be seen. Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You are the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
There is a light touch on your mind and a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime on her wrist sound softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire, arrows in the dark, and fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone, and a storm. The storm. The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
I encountered a bivouac, yes, and it did something to me. Her hand withdraws shyly, the chime sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly as if she has been sitting for some time or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt, yet while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her, the image on the plateau. Yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
Let's see.
So many questions, thoughts, whirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. You cannot tell if it is carving new channels, or eroding what keeps your true strength buried. The fact that you could hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
It's like, do you wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates and you feel strength and certainty as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you and a calm sky looks down upon you. Okay, not sure what I want to do here. I'm tempted for now to dismiss Sagani and take the grieving mother. She is a cipher. That is not a shredded garment. Yeah, let's equip her with the crossbow. Slow. Well, I'd rather not have slow attacks, but, you know. So ciphers have spells they can cast any number of times, but they have to use a soul whip ability. Or something like that to be able to gain the focus they need to use any of it. I've heard of people using her as kind of a frontline fighter before too, but I'm not really going to do that right now.
Keeping quiet.
Anyway, this has gone on long enough today. I will see you folks next time when we'll continue our journey here. See if we can't find this Orlin woman that I'm not sure exists. And try to find the scroll that we're after. And
Indeed.
try to find any number of things that we're needing to find. Until then, please enjoy. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.